Hi everyone, my name is Deborah and welcome to the Edit by DH. Welcome to another video. Today is all things beauty pie. This video has been a long time coming. I remember getting a few requests for this video, just like sort of my recommendations and my top products from Beauty Pie. And honestly, it's been, on my list of things to film, things to do, but I wanted to ensure that I did it properly and not just did like a rushed video just because really. And I think a lot of people who create content will understand how much work goes into filming a video, especially one like this where I feel a little bit more responsibility to give you all the information and not just have tried a product one time and go, do you know what, I'll just recommend it. So one of the reasons that it's taken me so long is because I've been a Beauty Pie member for a long time, I would say several years. And a lot of these products that I'm recommending today are products that I've used, I've repurchased several times, and I kind of know what works and what doesn't. On that note, however, it is based on my personal preferences, it's based on my skin type. So I will just say that from the get-go. My skin type, if you don't know already, is dry to very dry. So I personally prefer very hydrating products that make my skin feel hugged, hydrated, plumped, very cushioned, not tight at all. So if you have the opposite skin type to me, you're oily skin type or you are acne prone, please bear that in mind when I recommend certain skincare products. However, I will make all of that clear. I will give you more information about the particular skin care product because sometimes they are suitable for various skin types or all skin types, as they say, which I don't necessarily agree with, but a lot of skin types, not just dry skin types. Plus I will be talking about makeup and recommending that, so there is something for everyone from this video. In case there's any noise, there is drilling going on downstairs. You guys may remember this from a previous video where I mentioned that they're renovating the gym downstairs, so please do excuse the noise in case you hear anything. I feel like they are silent, and the second that I hit the play button they just start drilling, so please bear with me. So like I said, this video is all about Beauty Pie, and I am assuming you're here because you either love Beauty Pie and want maybe more recommendations, or perhaps you're new to Beauty Pie completely and you just never dabbled into it and you want a little bit more information. Either way, you're in the right place. I think it's fitting to start with a little bit of background on Beauty Pie, just in case you don't know anything. So they're a brand that launched in 2016. They've been around for quite a few years, and the Beauty Pie founder is Marcia Kilgore. She basically started this brand because she realized that a lot of beauty brands were profiting from huge margins, and she realized that there was sort of like a gap in the market, I guess. So she started Beauty Pie, almost like a luxury beauties buyer club, because she wanted to sell her own branded skincare and beauty products, but at factory cost prices. So it's available to customers who are based in the UK and US based on a membership. So I believe you can do either a monthly membership or you can do a yearly, like an annual membership. Either way, having access to those memberships allows you those discounted prices. So for example, if you go onto the Beauty Pie website, there is a generic retail value for the product, which is often very expensive. And then there is the members price, which is heavily discounted. What really appealed to me about Beauty Pie from the beginning, it allowed everyone to have access to luxury skincare products from like Switzerland, Japan, Korea, Italy. Beauty Pie kind of prides itself on transparent pricing, and they say that they're able to sell high quality products at lower costs because it excludes like retail markups, excess packaging, or the cost of in-store promotions, because they're obviously just an online based business. So if you look at the packaging, for example, it's very simple, but again, I don't think that's a bad thing because you know what you're getting, and rather than the packaging being fancy and the product is rubbish, you would rather the opposite, where the packaging is meh or so-so and the product itself works and it's glorious and you're getting this high quality product at an affordable price. So therefore you can keep buying. So on the website, you can read directly about how it works. So it just says, our team of highly experienced product developers work with and source from the world's leading beauty and wellness labs, where most luxury beauty products just also happen to be made. So that's interesting, they share the same labs as some other well-known luxury beauty brands. I would love to know which brands they share with in which specific countries. If you know and you have the 411, please comment down below. They cut out the middlemen, so by stripping out the typical industry markups, which can be 10 times the finished manufacturing costs, we pass those dramatic savings directly onto our members. And we're a buyers club. Hundreds of thousands of beauty lovers have already joined Beauty Pie, and the more members there are shopping our products, the greater the savings we can pass on. And then you get like all these discounted savings. So I am on the annual membership, just to be clear. I believe it is £59 a year. And originally it meant that I was entitled to a certain limit of products. So by amount, like whatever it was, say like £4,000, right? £4,000 value of products over the year. But now, I believe in my recent renewal email, you know, when they tell you that it's about to be renewed, I believe they said they took the limit off. So actually for the £59 membership annually, I can access the products and I can purchase to my heart's content with no limit on my spending, which is great if you're a regular spender through Beauty Pie. Even if you're not, the way I see it, and maybe some of you may agree or disagree, £59 is the cost of a very decent face cream, right? So I'm spending that in a year to have access to other products where I'm going to be saving way more than £59. In fact, in my last renewal email, with the products that I bought over the year, it told me I had saved just over £4,000. I think that's what it said. So in comparison, £59 is nothing. When people ask me what's my favourite high street or drugstore brand, I often point out Beauty Pie, just because even though it performs at a way higher level and is higher quality than your average drugstore brand, in terms of the cost, I feel like it's comparable. I also felt like I needed to do this video because I have been a Beauty Pie member for a long time. I think, I could be wrong, I think I was like one of the original people to really talk about and sing about Beauty Pie, even before like a lot of the beauty community were even aware of Beauty Pie, how it worked, what it was about. Because I remember a while back, a lot of people in the beauty community were asking me what my thoughts were on Beauty Pie, whether I'd recommend it, how it works, etc, etc. So really this video is a response to many different things, and I wanted to basically break it up into products that I would recommend, products I'm not so keen on and why, and then sort of like new products or launches that I'm excited about trying. So I hope that you'll enjoy this video. So starting with what I love, I've used, you know, what product I would recommend. I'm going to start with a beauty product, which is the Triple Beauty Luminizing Highlighter Wand. I really love this product. I previously did a comparison to the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wand, highlighter wand, because it really reminds me of it, to be honest, in terms of even the shape and the quality of it, really. The only difference is that I think there's only one shade, which is champagne, whereas Charlotte Tilbury, I think, have a few shades suitable for different skin tones. What I love about champagne is it's gorgeous, gives you this gorgeous highlight and sheen if you like that sort of liquid creamy highlighter product, but it's more for fair skin tones. The second that your skin tone gets warmer, deeper, I think it will be a little bit too cool or silvery. That's the only thing I wish they did more kind of shades or undertones, should I say. But maybe there's not a demand for it, I'm not sure. Either way, it costs £11 for 15 ml of product, and it's made in Italy. I believe when I did the comparison to Charlotte Tilbury, of course it's way cheaper than Charlotte Tilbury, but I think there's even more product with the Beauty Pie, I think. But yeah, I would highly recommend it if you're into that kind of like liquid highlighter that just gives you this gorgeous sheen that feels grown up. It's not like a kiddie sparkly thing. And also if you're a bit more fairer toned like myself. I would also recommend the Quick Color Contour Super Gel. This one comes in 3 shades from light, medium to deep, and it costs £12.50 for 12 ml. By the way, the highlighter, if you're not a member, it costs like £30. So it's quite a big saving. It's like more than half off. Again, I would compare the contour wand to the Charlotte Tilbury one. Like when I used it, I actually preferred the lighter shade in the Beauty Pie one than the Charlotte Tilbury one, because on my skin I personally found the Charlotte Tilbury one a little bit more warmer, which obviously for contour you don't really want it to be. And I like the fact that it comes in 3 different tones, unlike the highlighter wand. Again, it's made in Italy. Yeah, what can I say? It's a great product. Very easy to blend, very seamless on the skin, long lasting. So if you are looking for alternatives to the Charlotte Tilbury one, I would highly recommend the Beauty Pie one. Then I wanted to recommend the Japan Fusion Genius Lift Elixir. Japan Fusion is a, what can I call it, a line within Beauty Pie. So you know how different skincare brands or brands can have lines and names within them. So the Japan Fusion, you have the Japan Fusion Cream, Japan Fusion Serum, the Japan Fusion Lift Elixir, etc, etc. So this is a line, but the product within that line that I personally recommend is called Genius Lift Elixir. And it in fact was like the Vogue Beauty Awards 2021 winner. On the website, it's described as a concentrated lifting elixir, which is like an instant shot of skin magic. Just add a few drops into a toner or serum or massage straight onto cleansed skin and your complexion will look immediately more elastic, plump, dewy and hydrated. It's infused with barrier boosting fish and Y, hyperpigmentation fighting jabara fruit, vitamin C, antioxidant grape extract and a powerful new hyaluronic strength Polynesian seaweed humectant. And the award that they won with the British Vogue Beauty Awards winner in 2021 was the Ultimate Skincare Saviour. So this is made in Japan. It costs £12.50 for 15 mils, but if you're not a member, it's £60. So you can see the difference in prices. If you wanted to, you could also use the set. So there's a Japan Fusion Genius Lift Ultra Therming Cryotherapy set, that's a mouthful, which includes a Genius Lift Elixir and a set of cryo globes that you can keep in the fridge or freezer. So I have got that as well and I've used it and I really like it because it's great for depuffing the face and then it contours, it helps to sculpt, etc. So I really enjoy that as well. That set costs £45, but again, if you were a non-member, it would cost £120. So it just says here, skin icing or facial cryotherapy helps tighten and contract the skin, leaving it looking more sculpted, plump and radiant. It's why we designed this kit, to achieve that enviable fresh face glow every day. Massage a few drops of the elixir onto cleansed skin. Next, take both globes after 2 to 3 hours in the fridge and gently place over your eyes to tackle puffiness and roll over your face and neck to help boost circulation, refresh and revitalize skin and visibly reduce any inflammation or redness. So personally, I love anything that's cooling, depuffing, because when I wake up, my face just looks like a mandu, which is a Korean dumpling, and it's very puffy and it's just very kind of warm. So anything cooling, takes down that swollen look, I'm all about it. Another product that I really love is the Pro Angled Concealer Brush. It costs £10, but for non-members it's £25. It is a thin synthetic brush and it is great for concealing. However, I personally love it for spot powdering. So, you know, like obviously concealing like under your eyes, for example, is what they recommend, as well as foundation, etc. But because it's so dense and a small surface area, I actually love using it for spot powdering, like under my eyes, around my nose, T-zone, etc. I love this brush. So I think I have about 4. So I need to calm down, but I think I have about 4 and I keep them in different places. So 1 in my bathroom, like 2 in my makeup space, 1 in the office, yeah, so 4. With an angled head and super soft dense bristles, our Pro Angled Concealer Brush mimics the precise application of your fingertips with the seamless finish of a pro makeup artist brush, ideal for applying and blending concealer and foundation around the natural contours of the eyes, nose, lips and brows. Professional luxury quality. Another product that I love is the Wonder Gel Long Wear Lip Liner, and they have 5 shades but I like the shade Vanilla Nude, which is £7.50 for 1.25 grams. So it's a non-drying, superbly smooth, creamy with intense colour laydown, genius glide and precision payoff for shaping, refining and defining. Wearing it alone, choose a shade that intensifies your lips' natural colour or as a stay all-day base under lipstick or gloss. For members, like I said, it's £7.50. For non-members, £20. I personally love Vanilla Nude because I feel like it's kind of my perfect nude, where it gives me a little bit of colour so I don't look like a corpse, but it's still quite neutral enough to wear as a nude colour, if you know what I mean. And I feel like it's not drying on my lips. I feel like it does last a long time. So that's why I love that colour. Plus, it's a fraction of the price of other lip liners, as are most of these products. Next, I want to recommend the Luxury Mulberry Silk 100% Silk Hair Scrunchies. They have 3 colours: jet black, caramel, and then you have like a dusky rose colour, which is beautiful. They're all beautiful, to be fair. As you know, silk scrunchies are more gentle on your hair. I used to own the Slip ones. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Slip because they're known for silk products, but it's a fraction of the price. And they're both mulberry silk. Just to give you an idea, I worked it out for you guys. So the Beauty Pie one, it gives you 6 scrunchies for £16.50. Non-member price is £39, but anyway, member price £16.50 for 6, which works out to about £2.75 per scrunchie. Whereas with the Slip one, which like I said is also mulberry silk, it's £39 for 6, which works out to £6.50 per scrunchie. So Beauty Pie £2.75 per scrunchie, Slip £6.50. It's a huge difference. And I tried to look into it, but I couldn't really see much of a difference, at least based on the description given online, as in online on Beauty Pie and online on Slip. They seem to be quite similar. Like, I didn't see many differences. And like I said, they're both mulberry silk. So in terms of the quality, I'm assuming it's similar, if not the same. But if that's the case, you'd be mad to buy the Slip one because it's so much cheaper to buy the Beauty Pie one. Here it's described as the best hair ties for curly, kinky, damaged or chemically sensitive hair, with a specially selected super strong elastic interior and 100% pure silk exterior. These silk hair ties are beautifully crafted to glide against hair, eliminating the damaging friction, clawing and tugging of abrasive traditional elastics. No more snapping, no more kinks and no more damage. Next up is another skincare product called Plantastic Apricot Butter Cleansing Balm. It's so good and it smells delicious. And I've topped it up a few times, but then I haven't bought it in a while. Not because I don't like it, it's because when I'm doing these reviews, when I'm, gifted or when I'm buying or whatever it is, I end up just accumulating like so many products. So I end up having like 5 cleansers in one go going at the same time. I have like 5 foundations going at the same time, 6 concealers going at the same time. And there comes a point where you're like, Deb, stop. Just use up what you have and then you can repurchase if needs be. So I haven't repurchased this Plantastic Apricot Butter Cleansing Balm in a while. Doesn't mean I don't love it, I really do, but I'm just trying to finish up what I already haven't opened. So this one is described as a totally deluxe cleansing balm that's so good it almost makes you feel guilty. With cold pressed rosehip seed oil, apricot kernel oil and vitamin E, this nourishing formula melts away makeup, oils and impurities. In contact with water, it breaks into a lightweight milk for a super moisturized, clean and totally refreshed face. It comes with an organic cotton muslin cloth. It's made in Italy and it's suitable for all skin types. So again, it's saying it's suitable for all skin types. I know there are people who've used this who have a different skin type to me and they say it works for them. But again, if you have sensitivities with your skin or specific skincare concerns, as always, I would just recommend reading the ingredients list and description before committing to a purchase. So this one costs £22 for 100 ml of product, and if you're a non-member it would be £50. Now, although it comes with an organic muslin cloth, I like to use it with the Beauty Pie exfoliating cloth, which I'll go on to in just a moment, but I feel like they work very beautifully together. So that's my marriage made in heaven. I just love the scent. I love how luxurious the whole process is. It literally feels like, normally when I'm washing my face, I'm washing my face. I can't be arsed. I just want to get it over and done with, cleanse it, and then quickly put some moisturizer on. But when I'm using, or where I have used this Plantastic apricot butter in the past, it's an experience. Like from the, you know, from digging it out, applying it to your face, the scent that hits you. And like I said, it just smells delicious. And I'm not normally a fan of like certain scents, but this is, it smells so good. It literally smells so good enough to eat. So then I'm like applying it to my face, and then I'm just enjoying like the whole massage and experience, almost like it's a spa experience. And then, you know, like it says, when it comes into contact with water, it turns into more of a lightweight milky emulsion. And again, that's an experience, and I love that. I'm reminding myself why I like it, and now I feel tempted to buy it, but I'm gonna be good and just finish off what I have already. So that's another product I would recommend. Like I said a moment ago, I would highly recommend using that cleansing balm, or any cleansing anything, with this double-sided organic cleansing and exfoliating cloth. I have been using this cloth for ages and I absolutely love it. Maybe there is better out there, I don't know, but I personally love this cloth, and I prefer it to muslin cloths. I really do. It's a personal preference. It costs £7.50 for 3 cloths, which works out to £2.50 per cloth. So on the website, it is described as a great cotton washcloth gone exponential. Perfect to deploy alongside any cleanser. It's got one side that gently scrubs and another with a smooth skin grip for polishing and finishing. A basic, but so much better in a pack of 3. So like I said, £7.50 for 3. As a non-member, it would cost you £15. And by the way, it is 100% organic cotton muslin and one side soft microfiber material. So I don't use the side that polishes the skin, I just use the side that cleanses and exfoliates the skin. And I thought it would make sense to compare it to the recent 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚 release or launch of her cloths, which is very similar to the Beauty Pie one. I'm not saying she copied, so please don't come for me, but it's very similar. In fact, it's just, in my opinion, it just looks like a bigger version of the Beauty Pie one. So the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚 one, I would say, is like the big brother of the little Beauty Pie one. The only difference is, actually there's quite a few differences, the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 one only comes with 2, whereas the Beauty Pie one comes with 3. So therefore the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 one works out to £5 per cloth, whereas the Beauty Pie one works out to £2.50, like I said. 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚's one is bigger in size, which for you might be a plus point. For me, I prefer a smaller size because I don't feel like you need that much, if you know what I mean. So I just feel like the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 one is a bit more wasteful. I feel like I prefer the smaller size, and then once I've used it for a long time, I can get rid of it and then replace with the other cloth, the other replacement cloth. One thing I'll say is the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 one is softer, but for me, again, I personally prefer, like, I don't want to cleanse my face with something that feels like sandpaper, of course, but I personally like a little bit of grip. And again, this is my personal theory, but I think because it's so soft, when I've got makeup on the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 cloth, I find it's more difficult to clean off. So even where I'm rubbing the cloth together to try and remove the makeup, it doesn't come off easily. So then I'm having to use like a soap to then wash off what's on the cloth, which is, I don't know, for me, it just feels like an extra faff. Whereas with the Beauty Pie one, perhaps because it's got a little bit more grip to it, and with the grip, I feel like it's better for exfoliation, personally. When I then wipe the Beauty Pie cloth together, I find the makeup comes off way easier than the 𝕕𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 one, just to put it out there. I love this cloth. Like I said, I've been using it for a few years now, and I love traveling with it especially. And what I do is, like, I'll use it in the hotel bathroom. I'll like cleanse it obviously, and then normally, you know, in hotel bathrooms they have like those magnifying mirrors, which are horrendous. I never look in them, but they are very good to just like hang your face cloth over so that it can dry properly, because obviously if it doesn't dry properly, bacteria will just accumulate. So yeah, that's what I do. But one time I was in Norway, I was in Oslo, and I was in a hotel, and the cleaner got confused with the hand towels that they give you in hotels, because in actual fact they're about a similar size, so that's one disadvantage, is that the cleaner might get confused with the hotel one. So she basically like chucked it, and I was so sad. And the hotel was like, oh, like how much did it cost, and perhaps you can buy a new one, and you know, we'll see what we can do. But I'm like, no, you don't understand. There's nothing like this cloth. If you look at it, you can tell it's not the same as a hotel one. Firstly, the hotel hand towels always feel like sandpaper. And secondly, the Beauty Pie one comes with a little hook so that you can hook it on, you know, whatever, so that it can dry. So yeah, that's my sad little off-tangent story. But otherwise, I would highly recommend it. Then another product that I came across more recently is a cuticle therapy oil. Now, I know there are probably better oils out there, but I just like this cuticle oil when I want something quick. So, you know, some of the beauty cuticle oils, like one thing, again, I'm going off on a tangent, I just find with people who are nail technicians, not all of them I know, but the majority are very telly-offy. They're like, they'll tell you how dry your cuticles are. They're like constantly criticizing. Maybe it's just me and my nails. And then, are you using cuticle oil? They're so judgy. And I'm like, yes, I do, but I can't help that I have clearly dry cuticles and clearly dry skin. And I mention this in a humorous way because I don't feel like hairdressers do the same or makeup artists do the same. They shouldn't. If they do, go find someone else. But I remember when I was working in beauty, we were constantly taught as a training not to point out a customer's flaws or concerns unless they mentioned it as a concern themselves. So for example, if a customer had like acne, you wouldn't go, oh my god, you've got terrible skin, do you wash your face properly? Otherwise, why would you have acne prone skin? Like, imagine how rubbish that would make somebody feel. And there are so many reasons why somebody can have spots or somebody can have dry flaky skin. So why point that out, right? Just because somebody has problematic or seemingly problematic skin doesn't mean they don't do everything in their power to take care of it, right? And the same with hair. Imagine going to your hairdresser, sat down, you want a really nice experience, and then your hairdresser's like, God, your hair's dry. God, I don't know if it's hair or straw, you know? Imagine. And I feel like no other beauty professional does that except for nail technicians. So it's one of my biggest irks. Anyway, sorry, I had to add that story in there. But the cuticle oil, you know, let's be real. Whether you use cuticle oil or not, I use it at least once a day. I have to force myself to remember, I'll be honest. But I do use it once a day in case like the cuticle police come for me. And I'm sure most of you will agree, a majority of like really good brands that do cuticle oil, like OPI, they're not cheap. So unless I have them dotted around my house, I will forget to use it. Because, you know, sometimes you have to visually see it in order to remember, right? When you've got lots of 101 things to deal with work, perhaps your family, whatever you've got going on. Let's be real. Oiling your cuticles is not up there with on your priority list. My point is, because it's not cheap, I think the Beauty Pie cuticle oil is a good alternative as something that's slightly more affordable to just have dotted around your house, because it's better to add something hydrating than not doing it at all, right? Here is described as for stronger, more supple, happier, healthier looking nails. Sign up for cuticle therapy. This active packed cuticle gel nourishes your nails with olive oil ferment complex, strengthening vitamin E, fortifying micronutrients from purple rice, hydrating sweet almond oil, and the soothing, smoothing wonder oil, bakuchiyo. Anyway, £7.50 for 11 mils of product. If you're not a member, it will cost you £18. So that's my sort of last product that I am recommending. It's not to say that anything else is rubbish. It just personally isn't my preference. And perhaps I'm going to cover some of those products in my things I'm not so keen on and why section next. So first thing on my not so keen on list and why is their Beauty Pie lipsticks. And although I think they have some great colours, selections, and obviously prices, I hate the smell. I personally have a very weak stomach, and if a scent is very strong or very artificial, it starts to give me a headache. I'm not even joking. And because with the lips, it sits right underneath the nose, For me, it's the worst thing, especially when it's that sort of like vanilla-y, caramelly sort of scent. I think Charlotte Tilbury is also guilty of it. I find like a lot of cheaper brands are guilty of it, like high street drugstore brands. Charlotte Tilbury isn't that, but I don't know why she insists on putting these gross smelling things in her lipsticks. So personally, I'm not a fan of those lipsticks because of this scent, not because of the quality and the colour selection. So I just wanted to make that clear. But I also felt like it was fair to include it because I do avoid the lip products for that very reason. Beauty Pie have an Ultra Colour Pro Gel eyeliner range. Now again, I'm going to go based off of colours or different finishes. So the shimmery ones are good. They're very good. And especially for the price, they're very, very good. But the one that I used to use, which was Turkish Coffee, a very dark matte brown, which is my preference when I'm doing, especially like doing line underneath or as my main liner, it smudges. Even though it's supposed to be long wearing, it's supposed to be gel eyeliner, it smudges. And I was reminded of that recently when because I have like hundreds of eyeliners, or what feels like hundreds of eyeliners open at the same time. But I tried the Turkish Coffee and I did it as not only in my waterline but also on top. And if it's a long wearing product, it shouldn't matter where you put it. And really, I kept finding throughout the day I was constantly getting out my cotton bud and constantly like wiping away the smudges. And then with that, you're taking away your concealer. And then by the end of it, you're like, what's the point? So that's on my list for that reason. But like I said, the shimmer finishes are better. They do last longer. Now, I told you I love the silk scrunchies. But here I'm going to mention that I'm not so keen on this silk eye mask. Now, again, it's not because it's not a good eye mask. But if you are a big-headed beauty, like myself, I feel like I have the head size of a watermelon. It's not great and it's a little bit tight. So obviously when I'm sleeping, I don't want the mask squishing my face. I don't want the elastic too tight on my head because then I just feel like I'm going to get a migraine in the middle of the night or in the morning when I wake up. So it's counterproductive to aiding a good sleep, which is really what eye masks are for. If you have a small head, you'll be absolutely fine with the Beauty Pie eye mask. I personally use the slip one. For this one, I'm clearly reverting back to the expensive one, but only because, firstly, the design is gorgeous. I shared a post of it recently. I think it's got like Amalfi lemons on it, you know, Italian lemons on it. Plus, it's got this sort of crevice, I guess, for your eyeballs so that your eyelashes don't get squashed, which I love, which is great for not only lash extensions, but your lashes in general. And I love the fact that it has got enough stretch and it doesn't feel too tight on my head. For some reason, the Beauty Pie one, I feel like it's just designed for a smaller head. So again, not their fault, my fault for having a watermelon head, but just wanted to point out why I don't like it or why I don't buy it. Now, fragrances. You guys know I love fragrances. There's just something about the Beauty Pie fragrances that don't quite sit right with me. I want to love them, I truly do, but the few times that I've bought fragrances in the past, there's just something. I like it, but not enough to wear it. It doesn't like bring me back after the first spritz. Secondly, I feel like they are a little bit more on the cloying side. And I personally, again, my personal preference is more of a kind of like a fresher, lighter fragrance. I hate anything cloying. So just to give you a point of reference, I'm very much a Jo Malone girl, even a Diptyque girl rather than a Tom Ford girl. Just to give you a point of reference. So for me, I find it very cloying. But if you're that person who likes Tom Ford, if you're that person who likes these, you know, ouds and strong fragrances, and you like a fragrance with a punch, then you'll be fine with Beauty Pie, including their candles. Again, I am obsessed with home fragrances. I'm obsessed with candles and diffusers, but just didn't get along with the candles. I just felt like they were giving me headaches. They were too sweet or too cloying or too strong, and I'd light them, and then the second night the smell would start wafting in the room. I'm like, oh, it's making me feel sick, let me blow it out. I just kind of have them for display purposes, but I don't use them anymore. But if you like stronger scents and you don't mind that, And in fact, I know there are people who don't like Jo Malone because they feel like it's too light and they're constantly having to top up their fragrance. So they're the complete opposite of me. If that's you, you will like Beauty Pie. And just as a point of reference in terms of price point, so Beauty Pie's candles cost £20 for 240 grams, right? £20, that's the member price. Versus Jo Malone, for example, which candles cost £55, so more than double, for 200 grams, so less product. Diptyque's candles are £56 for 190 grams. So Diptyque candles are like even more expensive because they're £1 more expensive than the Jo Malone one and like 10 grams less than the Jo Malone one. So in that regard and with that comparison, Beauty Pie candles are really, really generous and affordable. £20 for 240 grams of product. But personally, for me, for my preference, I would rather spend the double and maybe just be more sparing with maybe how many times I like the Jo Malone and Diptyque candles, like once every year. I remember there was a body scrub. Can't remember which one because I think I tried to find it online, but I think there's more than one, so I don't remember which one I used. But at the time, I think there was only one body scrub, so it was whichever perhaps came out first. But anyway, I used this body scrub and I really, really, really didn't like it. I just remember it being super oily, which is fine if it's then gonna make my skin super hydrated and, you know, sheen and glowy looking after the bath or shower. But I found that not only was it not doing that, because my skin still looked super dry afterwards, sometimes even still had like dry bits of skin. It was so oily in the shower, it almost became a health hazard. I would literally be like Irish river dancing in the shower because I had spilt some of the oil after using it on my legs and I'm literally trying not to die. And then afterwards I'm coming out with still dry looking legs, which just completely defeated the purpose. So like I said, I can't remember which one it was exactly, but that's another product I wouldn't recommend. And then lastly, before I go on to new products and launches that I am excited about, I know that Beauty Pie have collaborated with quite a few well-known people like 𝕊𝕦𝕓𝕤𝕖, I think, sorry if I said the name wrong. I think it's James Mallory. Again, I'm really sorry if I got the names wrong. The point is, Beauty Pie have collaborated with quite a few people. And to me, the collaborations have been a bit like, what, you know, with a collaboration, of course, the brand still wants to retain a sense of their own identity. I get that. But then with the collaborator, you would expect them to bring something a little bit different, something that identifies them or makes the product a little bit more innovative or exciting. And I feel like every single new release and collaboration that's come out, it's just been a bit like, okay, I saw this in the 90s. It's not that exciting. You know, maybe this is me being a bit mean, and maybe there's a collaboration that you love, which I'd love to hear about genuinely. Please comment down below if there's any Beauty Pie X person that they collaborated with where you enjoy the product and you swear by it. Please let me know down below. But from a visual aspect, which perhaps isn't fair to judge on, it's just been like, meh. So that's another thing that I just wanted to say. And then I'm going to now talk about new products and launches that I am excited about trying. So originally I had written concealer because they do have this concealer, but I quickly realized that it's more for like, it's basically the opposite of the kind of concealer that I always look for, which is kind of more full coverage, medium full coverage, more like matte finish. And for me, I love anything dewy, glowy, hydrating, and more sort of light and medium coverage. So that ruled it out for me instantly. However, I did buy this Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius Concealer. And it's like a corrector, I believe. As you can see, I got the color light medium. And then I think you just use it as a corrector underneath your regular concealer, or maybe even foundation. And it works like magic, is what I'm assuming. They also have an LED face mask, which I believe is coming out soon. I don't think it's been released just yet. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not great, honestly, at using them. I'm really terrible and ashamed to admit that out loud. But I'm not good at using them. I really should before I go to bed. However, even so, anytime that sort of like a new technology or tool comes out, I'm instantly like, ooh, tell me more. So it has got my attention, but we'll see. Also, I think they have apple cider vinegar gummies. I kind of don't know how I feel about gummies. Like, I did buy one from Korea recently, and I don't know, maybe inwardly it helped me. I didn't really notice anything outwardly. But what are your thoughts on apple cider vinegar? Because I read so many conflicting things about it. And I have a feeling you guys might tell me off and say gummies is like unhealthy because it's probably got more sugar than just drinking it from the source. But let me know, because I would love to know what your thoughts are on apple cider vinegar. Also, they have a Wonder Gloss collagen lip oil, which originally, again, I put on my list because anything collagen, anything lip oily, I am there with bells on. However, when I looked at the shades, they all seemed shimmery, which puts me off instantly. Like, I like shimmer in my eyeshadows. I hate shimmer in lip products. Personally, and again, this is my personal view, I feel like any shimmery lip products is instantly aging. And I feel like, yeah, I just feel like it instantly ages somebody. So that's the only thing that made me feel a bit like, So I didn't get any in the end. The concealer is called the Everyday Great Skin Hyaluronic Blur Concealer. Has anyone used this concealer before? I'd love to know. Please comment down below. My beloved Hourglass concealer, which is the Veil Retouching Fluid concealer from Hourglass, has sadly discontinued, which I'm so sad about. However, I am kind of looking for a concealer that's going to replace that now. So I would love to know your thoughts on what you think of this Everyday Great Skin Hyaluronic Blur Concealer if you've used it from Beauty Pie. If not, I would love to know any recommendations that you have of great concealers, bearing in mind that I like something with more of a glowy, hydrating finish with more like light to medium coverage rather than full coverage. I also got a lip product, I know, called Shine Up Luxe Lip Color Balm from Beauty Pie. And it's in like that pencil format, the chunky one. And it's a twist up, so it's easier because you don't have to sharpen. I just quite liked the colour of it online, but now on my hand I'm not so sure. I think I'd probably use it more like a lip stain, but I like the fact that it's kind of more hydrating, like it says it's a balm, and no scent, hallelujah. So I will give this a go at some point, not right now obviously, and if you're interested, message me how I got on with it. Then, interestingly, Beauty Pie are now doing razor blades for shaving, which I found so interesting. So they have different colours available. I think there are 3 different colours that you can buy for your razor blade. And I just got yellow because for me it's a colour, it's like, firstly, it's my favourite colour, can you tell? And secondly, it's just a colour that makes me very happy. It's very bright. And I thought, you know, if I'm showering in the mornings and, you know, I want to feel energized, I just look hard at my razor blade. And it comes with refill blades as well, 6 blades. Although I might have purchased it as an extra. I need to double check. Generally, I don't like shaving. I really don't. I try to avoid it at all costs. I prefer waxing, but you know, there's times where you just need a quick shave. So I just got it. And I will tell you, again, if you're interested how I get on with it, message me about shaving, why not? And then I got this Shinkai, which is a very interesting skincare product, Japanese, Electrolyte Drench 3-in-1 Deep Hydrating Gel Cream. Skin Super Hydrator, Light Gel Cream, Essential Mineral Blend. Like, all those words are like part of my love language. So it says formulated with Shinkai Deep Sea Mineral Infusion from Japan's Noto Peninsula, where warm and cold currents coincide to create a powerful mix of skin boosting minerals, including sodium, calcium, and potassium. It's got tripeptide complex, which significantly improves visible skin firming across the face and helps increase skin suppleness and smoothness. And mineral boost made of 3 essential and naturally occurring skin rejuvenating minerals: zinc gluconate, magnesium aspartate and copper gluconate, a smoothing and anti-aging ingredient that supports the skin's natural antioxidant function. This is what it looks like, which is very un-Beauty Pie looking other than the shape. But yeah, the color is interesting. I'm very curious to try this out. Like, everything in the description sings at me, and I can't wait to see how my skin looks after using it. And last but not least, I got the Youth Bomb. This is 360 degrees of radiance concentrate with exclusive biolog elastic complex. God, sometimes I honestly feel like I need a PhD to read some of these skincare ingredients and names. To help visibly firm, tighten and soften fine lines and wrinkles, boost radiance and enhance luminosity. So 15 mils. It says it's a proprietary blend of 15 active ingredients that supercharge your skin's radiance, including a powerful phyto extract that provides emollient, moisturizing and soothing effects, a synthetic hexapeptide with skin brightening and antioxidant benefits, a marine active with high content in proteins and exopolysaccharides, reinforces the structural integrity and elasticity of the skin, active marine biotechnology that recharges, firms and strengthens the skin, an elastic, flexible, oat-derived molecule for an immediate firming effect, and will also pay your mortgage. Well, if only, because then that would be the perfect product. It's made in Switzerland. So again, very, very interesting. So these are new products that I got, and again, products that I mentioned just now are products that I'm kind of excited or curious about, excited to try, etc. So if you're interested in finding any more about these products, give me a little bit of time, then come back to me and I will let you know how I'm getting on with them. But otherwise, I hope that was useful for you guys, for fellow beauty piers, but also for people who might be interested in beauty pie but haven't quite yet dabbled into it, like I said earlier. What do you guys think of beauty pie? Are you a beauty pier, or are you now interested in becoming a beauty pier because of this video, or have I put you off completely? Hopefully not. I personally would recommend this. Like I said, what is £59 annually when you get access to all these great products? They're constantly bringing out new releases, which I love, because it's not like they just stick to a limited amount of products and then you're like, anyway. The only bad thing is I feel like they do discontinue products a lot, and or they run out of stock very easily, which is more of a common problem. So if you fall in love with a product, I would say just buy like maybe 2 or 3 products just in case they discontinue it, or more relevant if they run out of stock, so that you're not then like flapping and feeling like, oh, I have to wait 10 years for the product to come back into stock. I would also really recommend them during Christmas time, because they come out with some more like limited edition stuff, and often they make bloody fabulous gifts. That's all I'm going to say. So keep an eye out for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think of beauty pie, what you thought of this video and the products that I've mentioned. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.